Jason, thanks for coming on the show today.
Taza, thank you.
Really appreciate it. Been a long time coming. Thank you for giving up your time to speak on this podcast. Really, so the whole idea of this podcast is sort of interview people that have done amazing things and sort of ask about the process, about how they came to where they are now.
Yep.
And the first question I want to ask is, how was your childhood growing up and how did you first get into the sport?
How did I first get into kickboxing? My childhood was good. I had good parents.
Yeah.
They provided me with education. They paid for all my education all the way through to university. That was my dad's rules. We always had food on the table. We had to work for our own money. So I always worked. I always had a part-time job. I used to help my mum cleaning when I was at primary school. She used to clean our primary school, so I'd finish school and all the other kids would run home.
Yeah.
And I'd go and empty the bins and clean the tables. Nothing to do with my appearance. I just had a bad temper.
Okay.
I had a bad temper and I always used to get into fights.
Okay.
But my parents always stressed education, so I did good in the classroom.
It's like grades-wise, you were pretty well.
Yeah, I did all right. I got six subjects in school C. It's 2 years before you finish school. The third year. What is that?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, 11, 12, 13, 13.
Yeah.
Year 11.
Yeah.
So we used to have school certificate, and you had to pass, I think, 3 subjects to get through.
Yeah.
I did 6 subjects. 4 A's, 2 B's.
Oh.
So I had no problem with the teacher, but I just had a bad temper.
Yeah.
And so I just used to fight for stupid things for nothing, no reason.
But why though? Like, why did you have that temper, do you think?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I didn't like the Samoan kids calling me white because I'm half European and half Samoan.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Samoan kids for calling me white. I didn't like the white kids for calling me
Samoan.
Black.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Māori kids for calling me coconut. So I just fought everyone. Yeah, that was all in my head.
Yeah.
And I was scared. I can tell you now.
You were scared of them?
I was scared of like big islanders or with. Oh yeah. So when I was younger, I just had a bad temper, and when you get a little bit older, then there's tough kids and they're bigger than you, and so then I probably fought to prove that I wasn't scared, but I probably was scared. So I just I always wanted to because I ended up being pretty good at it. When you had a lot of street fights, a lot of fights in the playground, you end up getting pretty good, and you know certain things to do that work when you're out there.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to go and learn. Well, so because I was always good at education, there was a chance to get on a scholarship. It was the American Field Scholarship.
Yeah.
Where you got to go through a couple of interviews, and I was good at school, so I went through the interviews, 5 interviews, and I got accepted.
Yeah.
But I picked Thailand. For 2 reasons. For 3 reasons. One, that it was going to be cheap for my parents to pay for. The exchange rate was good. I got to learn Thai boxing, so that if I had to use it in the street, I could. And I got to talk a different language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that how you started?
That's how I started. So I got on this scholarship. Then I got sent to Thailand, and I learned how to speak Thai, speak Thai, write Thai. I learned flower making, which is a big thing in Thailand. But in my free time, which is not part of the education or the scholarship, in the morning and night, I went to this. There was this teacher that used to teach physical education in like a technical institute.
Yeah.
In the morning and night, and in his free time, he taught all the poor kids, and then how they used to make money from that was they used to they gamble on the fights. Okay, So I went along with the poor kids in the morning and night and learned Thai boxing. I was 17 years old, and I was the oldest in the gym. The youngest was probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old.
2 or 3?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years old.
Like a toddler?
Yeah, and there was this kid, he was 10, I think, 10 years old, and he was quite popular. He had like 30 fights, and when there was a show on, because I went to a few shows, he was quite famous. Like in our area, it was like Udon-Thani, the northeast. There was, I think it was like a million people. It was, what is it? It was 50 kilometers from the Laos border, up in the northeast out of Bangkok. And he was really famous. He was 10 years old. There was a kid that was maybe 2, and his grandfather used to come and just sit on the floor and hold pads for him on the floor. So I learnt there, and I had my first fight in Thailand. And I fought a guy who was 30, so that was old considering for a Thai. And he did probably 30, 40 fights, that's what they told me. And I had full professional rules. Knees to the head, elbows, punches, kicks, and full 5 3-minute rounds. 5 3-minute rounds, 2-minute break, which is a proper professional fight. And I fought and I lost some points.
Sure. How was the training leading up to that point? Like, what did you do? What was the daily schedule?
The training, like? Man. Okay, so in the morning you just run 9Ks. You run 9Ks, because we had this thing. It was so I used to do 6 laps of that. It was 1.5 kilometers. So we do run 9Ks in the morning and shadowbox, grapple for a little bit. So that was about an hour and a half training in the morning. And then in the evening you'd run 3Ks. You run around it twice. You run around it twice, 3Ks, shadowbox, hit the bag, kick the pads, and grapple. Yeah, it was pretty hard out.
So, for people that were doing in Thailand, those kids that were doing, were they like doing this full time, like professional?
For the poor kids, I think they were coming before school and after school, and then as you got older, I guess some of them didn't go to school, and that was their living. Like when I fought, it was like all over the town. There were banners over the town. Jason Suttie from New Zealand is fighting. I can't remember. Was it Bun Lai or? And there were these banners, and it was massive. So my trainer was a PE teacher at a technical institute. He gambled his whole pay. I didn't know that. He told me after the fight we went and we were having noodle soup across the road from this nice air-conditioned restaurant. And he said, Jason, I really planned to take you there, but I lost all my pay. I lost a month's pay, so we're eating noodles.
But so after that experience in Thailand, when you came back to New Zealand, what did you do next? Like,
I was hooked, man. I was hooked, and I didn't use it for street fighting. My temper had calmed down in the ring because I was no longer scared to fight in the street, because I knew that.
You weren't insecure of your weakness?
Because I knew I was good now. I was good, so learning how to fight just took away all those street fights. I mean, I still had 1 or 2 occasionally, but not as much as before. Like, it just completely changed. I just had a new found confidence and a new love, and all I wanted to do was train and fight in the ring.
Where did you train when you came back?
I trained at Balmoral Liga. It's a very famous gym amongst the Thai boxing community. Head trainer was Lolo Muli, still a good friend of mine, and there's people like Ray Sefo, myself, and like heaps of champs came in there. Like when I was an amateur, man, I don't know, say if there was 12 New Zealand titles, we had 7 of them, maybe more. That could be an underestimation. It was a very good gym with the top fighters in New Zealand.
But so how was the daily schedule of training? Like, did you leave everything else and just go full out on?
Nah, man. I came in and went to university. Man, I had to I had to. That was the plan for the last couple of years. So for my parents, Went to university.
What did you study, by the way?
I got a Bachelor of Arts in Education.
Yeah.
But I started, I did education, anthropology, and Māori up to stage 2, and then I went on to education for stage 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could have gone anywhere. I could have done anthropology, but some of those anthropology classes were difficult to understand. But I liked Māori.
Yeah.
And I liked education, so I was pretty good at that, and I was good at Māori at school too.
Yeah.
So I went to university and just came back from Thailand. In my lunch breaks, I used to do like a 9k run.
9k run every day?
Yeah, I do a 9k run, and when I have a fight, I used to have this other guy, Greg, and so Greg Nesbitt. So he used to. So I'd say to him, man, I've got a fight coming up. So I'd run around, and then we'd go to the squash courts at the university.
Yeah.
And he'd hold pads for me. Boom. Yeah.
Jeez.
He'd hold pads for me, and then in the evenings you go to the training, the normal training.
Yeah. So was he like a professional coach, or like how did you learn different techniques and?
Oh no, so Lolo Hemoli, he's a good trainer.
Yeah.
He's a very smart trainer. So I trained in Thailand for a year. I learned how to grapple good. But I'd say the bulk of my technique came from Lolo Hemoli.
Yeah.
He's a very smart trainer, and my pad holder, he'd only had one fight, but he was really smart.
Yeah.
Pad holder, good pad, better than any Thai.
So were you fighting then as well, like doing fights and stuff?
Yeah.
So were they in New Zealand or other places?
Oh, so in New Zealand, man, I had 10 10 amateur fights, and I had one fight in Australia. And especially when you're like a kid that's only used to go to Christmas holidays to Samoa, because I'm half Samoan, and I got to go to Thailand. When you get paid for free to go to Australia, hotel, food money, then you're hooked, man. So so I went to Australia and I got hooked, and then the next couple of years I went to Australia too many times. Won a few South Pacific, Commonwealth, Australasian titles.
But so what was the mental state before your fights? Like how did you prepare? What was the routine you did?
My mental state was it's a type of hypnosis actually. I used to it's a type of hypnosis. I didn't know that. I've just found that out recently when I did this when I started this hypnosis course, hypnotherapy course. So what I used to do leading up to the fight, I'd kind of have a picture of who I was fighting. For the last couple of weeks, I'd just look into the mirror, and I'd just say to myself, win, 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 you can't lose, no pain, can't feel pain, win, you can't get knocked out, win, no pain, win. And then I'd do that, look into my own eyes in the mirror before I go to sleep. Then you go to sleep, and if you're lucky, you have a dream. You have a dream because you've just been like hypnotizing yourself, which I didn't know I was hypnotizing myself. It was my own, it's just something that I used to do. Then you go to sleep, and then you'd see your fight, and you see your hands up. I wouldn't see the fight, but I'd see how I walked to the entrance, and I'd see my hands up at the end of the fight in the dream. And then you wake up, and then you just train, and you just do. I used to do that for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks, every night, most nights.
So you just visualize yourself, just repeat those chants.
Visualize, look into my own eyes in the mirror, and say it out loud. I'd say it out loud and look into my own eyes, because if you look into your own eyes, you don't lie to yourself. If you say it out loud, you force yourself to do it, and you also force the universe to comply with your plan.
So that the law of attraction, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think that...
And I knew nothing about visualization or any of this stuff. I just made this up by myself. So I was unique in that, in those days, I just had my own formula, but it worked. It worked. I never feel pain. I got knocked out once.
Tell us how was that like? that knockout, that fight?
Oh man, I'd just gone up to heavyweight from. I've been building up, so I'd gone from 76 kilograms, 78, 79, 86, and I won. I won world title at 76, 78, 79, 86, 95. Then I went up to super heavyweight. I hadn't won a world title yet, but I went into the K1. K1 was this. It was this tournament that in Japan they were paying. It was 8 men, 8 of the best fighters around the world. Okay, so you pick 8 fighters of every country, and they pick the top from New Zealand to get to Australia, and then they pick the top of the Oceania. But this tournament was paying $1 million, man. So man, that was boom. That was my goal to get there. You win $1 million in one night.
One night, one fight, $1 million.
3 fights. You got to win 3 fights. That's the trick.
1 million, yeah.
So that was my goal, and so I went up to get in. So it was my first one. I hadn't lost 10 years. I hadn't lost in New Zealand, so I was quite well known. Had a lot of popularity in the fight world. Hadn't lost, and I went up into the K1. My first fight as a super heavyweight. I'd never been knocked out, never lost, let alone get knocked out. And
so you never lost until that point.
I trained so hard. Now, I mean, I lost my first fight in Thailand. Came back to New Zealand. I was amateur for 1 year, then I turned pro. This is 10 years later. 10 years later. It was 2001, I think. Yeah, because I started in 1991. I'd won for 10 years, and I got knocked out. Boom! First round, I went for a flying hook, and right hand was down. He did a spinning back fist. Boom! Caught me, and I was knocked out. I was paralyzed. I was on the ground, paralyzed. I could see the ref walking to me, and the ref was walking to me, and I was like, "Please don't touch me! Please don't touch me!" But I couldn't talk, couldn't walk. I was like, shocked. And then he grabbed me, and I realized it was off. It was over.
How did you feel after that
Horrible.
fight? Yeah.
Cried my eyes out.
Yeah.
Cried my eyes out. I was really inconfident. I couldn't teach my class because I was running a gym then. I couldn't face my gym. Couldn't teach. I couldn't face my gym on Monday. It was a Friday or Saturday night because I just thought, man, how are they going to listen to me? They're not going to listen to me. Like, they just saw me get knocked out. I was so inconfident. So what did I do to climb up from that? I talked to my trainer. Then I rang a few other seniors in my gym that had been knocked out. I asked them what they'd done. I don't think Ray had been knocked out then, but Ronnie Seffel had been knocked out. That was Ray Seffel's brother. And I rang him, and he goes, I got this book. Read these books. So
what books were they? If you can remember.
Can't remember.
All they're about?
It was just about, it was just things that you knew. It was just building you back up, building your confidence back up. Building your confidence back. I went to a psychiatrist. I went to a psychiatrist. A sports psychiatrist. And they just help you. They just talk to you. Actually, things that you already know, that, it's a one-off, that, build up, get stronger. Yes, I did that. Anyway, a year later, I fought in the same tournament. I had the guy that knocked me out. He had the last year's champion, that won. And I had many of the same fighters that were in that tournament where I had got knocked out. And I came back and I won it. And I won it by knocking out the last year's champion. That's climbing.
How was that feeling when you just did that?
It was amazing. It was a good feeling. It was one of my best mates, by the way. So it was kind of mixed emotions. But man, that is a comeback. That is a comeback from getting knocked out in the first fight. First round of your first fight, coming back to winning 3 fights and winning your last fight by knockout. Especially
being so well known in New
That's
Zealand.
A good feeling.
So the next question is why do you fight? What's the driver when you're in that ring? Is it aggression? What is it?
It keeps me alive. It feeds my soul.
What do you mean by that?
It feeds my soul, man. What do you mean by that, man? It just makes you feel good. Like training hard. I mean, people. I don't know. I hear some people don't like training hard. I love training hard.
Yeah.
I love training hard. I love the hard work. I love the pain.
Yeah.
I love the mental game of pushing through training, of your trainer tells you to do one more, and I love saying, I don't want to do it, I'm going to walk out of the gym, and then you go through it.
Yeah.
And you go through it, and you feel good because you thought of giving up.
Yeah.
And then next thing, you're doing 10 more rounds or whatever. So I like that accomplishment. I like overcoming obstacles in your brain. Any physical obstacle comes first to your brain. Yeah. Or maybe it comes first to decided by your brain.
Yeah.
It comes first to your body. It's sore. I can't do it. But then it goes straight to your brain. And if you can switch your brain on, then you can overcome anything that your body tells you. So I love doing that. And then it's the buzz. It's the buzz of
the flow
knowing
state
what you did,
yeah.
what he did, going head to head, and then knowing that, I did more work. Yeah, I did more work. My brain was stronger. Okay, it's a good feeling. Yeah, because it's a full test in the ring, and it's one-on-one. You can't blame anyone else. Yourself. It's the only person you can blame, and I like that. Yeah. I enjoy that.
So how did you build that mental callus in your mind? Was it through repetition? How was that?
No idea, but through repetition, through getting smashed down, and then thinking, stuff it, and then getting up, and then when you get up, you realise that you're a little bit stronger than before that occasion. You're a little bit stronger than before that training, and then you just become stronger and stronger and stronger, and you can train harder, you can push yourself more and more and more, and then you just for me, I just had full confidence that no one could beat me here and here. Okay. I didn't care about the size. Yeah. And I often, because I went to super heavyweight, from 76 to super heavyweight, that's like no weight limit. So I just used to look at the outside, and I used to say, I'll go straight to the inside. I go straight to the inside because I know that no one can beat my spirit. Yeah. And then I'll just make them, I'll go and eat their inside. I'll just fight their heart. I don't know how you do it. I mean, you're fighting them physically, but I'm just powering through, getting to their heart. When the heart comes, then the mountain comes. Yeah.
Is it more of a mental game when you're in that ring? Are you like mentally strategizing?
Yeah.
Like how do I?
You know, people say when you have your first fight, it doesn't matter how fit you get. It's 80% mental and 20% physical. Man, it's mental all the way. Yeah. Right until you're world champion.
Mental.
Yeah, because if you fight someone that's so skilled and he's got no mental game, you can break him easily. You can just walk through his skill and give him a good leg kick. Give him a good body shot, give him a good right hand, and he'll just freak out because I'm so much more skilled than him, but he's still getting me. And then you get to his brain.
Yeah. What differentiates, good fighters from bad fighters? Really talented, really hard. What's the differentiating factor from your experience?
Determination and perseverance.
Why do you say that?
Because it doesn't matter how good they are. If they're got no determination, they got no perseverance to keep training and come back, then they're going to go nowhere. Yeah. Because when you get to the top, all of those people are filtered out. If you can imagine, Yeah. So this guy, he might survive with no fitness, no determination, no perseverance, doesn't train, but he's so good in the ring. So you beat that guy who had no skill, then you beat that guy that had no fitness, but then you're going to come to another guy who had to beat those guys. This guy had fitness, he had skill, that's how he beat them. Then you're going to start meeting your match. And your match in every way, which is skill, determination, perseverance at training, fitness, and then your head. Yeah. When you get to the top, they all got a good head. They all got mental strength, but it's who has the perseverance to train, who has the determination to get there. You know, so everything gets filtered away.
Yeah.
You can only survive so long on one talent.
Yeah. How about the publicity that, you know, certain fighters, let's look at the UFC, like, you know, Conor McGregor, you know, do you think, you know, talent-wise, like, I think he's there, but do you think it sort of blurs the sort of fight industry when he just talks so much, you know, out of proportion, does all these dramatic things? Do you think that somehow affects, you know, the sport?
It's not my style.
Not your style. So
It's
you're more of
not
a
my-
humble.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
my style is just shut your mouth and prove it in the ring, you know. get the shit done in
Yeah.
the ring and talk after, you know.
Yeah.
But man, it's the way it's happening right now. It's the way it's happening right now. So it doesn't really matter what I think. It's what the main public think and like, and people like it. He's proved
But
it.
so many copycats now. Like I see a lot of like young
He
fighters.
liked
They're
it.
just
He
talking
proved
shit.
it.
Yeah.
He liked it. He proved it. But the difference between him and young fighters, they're doing it.
They haven't.
Can they back it up?
Well, this guy, you know, he
So
talked all this shit.
he can
between
back it up.
Khabib, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what did we see?
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And when I watched that, I was like, yo, like, you know, this Khabib was quiet. He was like, let's go in the ring.
Hey man,
Sure.
he became champ.
Exactly.
He became champ.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor became champ. He fought the best in the world in boxing and
Definitely,
lost
yeah.
on points. Take your hat off him.
Yeah.
That's it. He's already done it.
Yeah.
So
I
you
do see
know,
what you mean, yeah.
you know, he can talk all the shit that he wants
Yeah.
because he done it.
Yeah.
He done it. You know, maybe he should start to quiet down now because he's not
Do you
doing
think
it
he'll
anymore.
come back? He'll definitely go back for a rematch?
I think he has the goods to come back. But does he have the hunger? Does he have the hunger? Does he have the determination? Because, you know, he's got all the money now. You got to have the hunger to win now.
It's like now it's not about money. They get paid so much per fight.
Yeah.
Now it's more like, you know, do I do it again? Put my
Yeah.
body on the line.
Yeah.
So when should a fighter stop fighting because of the health risks? Or when did you stop fighting and why did you stop fighting?
Oh man, thankfully for me, I stopped fighting at 35. Yeah, I stopped fighting at 35. And I think originally I was going to stop at 30, and then I went. Then I had a baby girl, and I wanted to keep fighting so that her and her friends could see me on TV, and she could get the feeling of, my daddy's famous, and I did that.
Yeah.
You know, when I walking into school once, and these kids go, hey, look, it's Jason Suttie. And she was like, she held my hand and grabbed my hand, and so I passed that gift on that I wanted to give her, that her daddy was famous.
Yeah.
I think you should retire when you're not getting as fit as you used to be, when you can't fight as good as your last fight.
Okay.
You know, like, so.
But when should they persevere and when is it done for them?
Yeah,
You know,
well,
that's the hard.
wow,
the
it's a
balance.
very, very hard decision to know when you're, because you do want to finish. You don't want to finish on the bottom. You want to finish at your best. For fighters, that's so hard to do. That's so hard to know. You know, you win that fight, Do you walk out without a challenge? Because then it's a challenge to fight someone else.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to fight the new champ or the new young gun. But should I just take that last win and then walk away? Oh man.
That's what they said with Muhammad Ali. They said
No one knows.
Yeah.
No one can answer that question
Yeah,
except every individual fighter.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
For me, I was lucky. I was on a pretty good streak. I was actually, I was starting to win some and lose one here and there. So I was probably on my way out, and I had so many injuries, man. I was going to physio, acupuncture, chiropractor, this, that, fix my body as much as I was training in my last 5 years because I had so many injuries. And then I had a prolapse disc, and then I had another prolapse disc next to one that I already fixed.
Your disc?
Disc in my neck.
Okay. Yeah.
And I couldn't lift my left arm once, then I couldn't lift my right arm, and it hurt to look up. And the specialist rang me and said, no, you finished. That's it. I can't put I got a titanium plate and pins in my neck.
Yeah.
I'd had a year off and I fought again. But then I had the next one come in, and he goes, no, that's it, you finish. If you get hit again in the wrong way, you're paralyzed, that's it. So I had to finish. I was probably lucky for me, because I would have been one of those confused fighters that loved the game too much, that didn't know when to quit. But I had to quit. I quit because the risk was too big. Paralysis was too big.
Jeez. So, for the fighters now that are considering it, so you're saying, when when the risk of your health is too much, when it outweighs the
rush of the win, it's time to give up.
Yeah.
100%. So that was easy. So it was an easy decision for me.
Okay.
It's a bad decision. It's a harder decision.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah.
A harder decision for those that don't have that risk. That it's just about winning and losing. Because when you're a really good fighter, say there were 5 fights ago or 10 fights ago, when they were just winning, and now they're coming to a win-loss when they lost to someone that maybe they could have beaten 10 fights ago, but they're not injured, they have no risk of paralysis. How do they give up?
That's true.
They got the hard job. I had an easy job, because it was either give up or risk getting paralyzed.
Yeah.
So that was easy.
And how was that transition, not fighting anymore, not training as hard as you used to?
Not easy.
Yeah.
How did
you deal with that?
I drank way too much. I started blacking out a few times, and I like being in control. I like being ready to go all the time. Blacked out a few times. Went to a psychiatrist for a few. I actually went to a psychiatrist for a year.
Yeah.
When I retired.
So the process wasn't easy.
No way, man.
Coming out of it.
I don't think it's any sportsman that's good. Any sportsman, rugby league players, and that, when you get taken away your and we're still quite young, we're still quite able.
Yeah.
It is very, very hard.
Do you think there's like this innate drive for people to watch fights or even fight, like evolutionary wise? Like, do you think we're wired in a way to, watch a good fight, get into physical contact with each other?
I don't think everyone is. No way.
Not everyone, but do you think certain people are?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because when I watched it, I'm no fighter.
The crazy people that jump in the ring, they must have something in them.
Yeah. Because I'm no fighter, but whenever I see the UFC, it gets me. It's like, damn. It's like, they're just fighting for something. They have that warrior mentality. No, I don't think about doing it. But when I just watch them, I'm like, these guys are, proving themselves. They're going head to head. It's sort of, in a way, I think it's like, is it in us? Is it innate that we're driven to like watch them fight like this?
Okay, so I think so not to get in the ring, but not everyone, except people don't know enough, but you respect someone that is fighting their balls off.
100%.
You like it's just like if you see a running race and you see someone fall over, get up, and you love the fight in that person. He's not fighting physically, but he's fighting to finish the race. Everyone is attracted to that because everyone has heart.
Yeah.
Everyone has heart.
Yeah.
So you can't help admire someone with, wow, could I do that?
Yeah.
Could I get up? I just fell over that many times. It was a 2,000 meter run, or 800 meters, and I just fell over 4 times, and I got up, and he's still trying to come in last, but they're still trying to be in the race. You respect that.
That's inspiring.
You can't help
Yeah,
that.
100%.
You can't help.
Yeah.
So it's the same with fighting. Even if someone, they don't like, they don't like fighting, and they don't appreciate it as a sport. But then they look and they see, man, that guy got knocked down, got punched, and he got up. Man, could I do that? And then they're in. Because it's not the fight, it's not the race, it's the heart that they're looking at.
Yeah, I find it really inspiring whenever I watch those movies, like Rocky movie. How he just doesn't give up.
Yeah.
It's like a metaphor for life. It's like whenever the world's hitting you, you just gotta keep going, train hard, keep going. And it's it's real cool. It's motivating, inspiring, and I think everyone is sort of hungry for that sort of message.
Absolutely. So there was no social media in my day.
Yeah.
I don't know when it came. It must have come after I retired. But I still get people coming up to me today, man, not often.
Yeah.
I get people coming up to me once every 2 weeks. Oh, Jason, man, you used to watch your fight. And I think what I had such a big impact on the New Zealand public is because I was a small guy in the super heavyweights, and I just had no give up in my head. Even if I was getting smashed the shit out of me, I would never give up, man. I'd try and lose on my feet. And people respect that, because it wasn't about, even though I lost, I got a hiding, it wasn't about, they followed my heart. They followed the heart because they thought, wow, shit, he's not giving up. Could I have done that? So you warm to the heart, you warm to the person that came last but got up 3 or 4 times.
It's inspiring
to finish the race.
That process of seeing someone, come from nowhere to get to somewhere. Yeah. Because it's like you see that in yourself, you're like, oh, maybe it's possible for me to keep working hard at something else and do better at it. Yeah. Face obstacles, don't give up, keep going.
That's what I get from heaps of, so that's what I get. I often get that, oh man, I admire your heart. And that was cool. That's really cool. It's flattering.
Yeah. I want to segue into the Wim Hof Method. So just sort of give a brief thing. When I first heard the Wim Hof Method, it was about 2 years ago on this podcast. And when they were explaining what this guy could do, I was like, that's bullshit. Like, no human can do that. Maybe it's a sort of a scam.
Yeah.
Sort of, like, I was like thinking like this. But then when I looked into the science behind it, I was like, shit, this could be possible. So explain to us how you got involved, what it is, the science behind it, how people can sort of start with it.
How I got involved with, honestly, I was, 2017, I was getting tattooed, and my tattooist used to just show like documentaries, Vice documentaries, podcasts, and one of them was a podcast with Joe Rogan and Wim Hof.
Yeah.
And they did the breathing. I was, going through pain, and then I try and hold my breath, and I held my breath for 30 seconds, and then I see that Joe Rogan held his breath for over 2 minutes through the breathing technique. So I didn't really follow it. And then they showed some videos of Wim Hof in the ice and that, and I thought, whoa, man, that guy's tough. Mentally he's tough, and I love the mental part of the game of Thai boxing. And I thought, wow, I'm not fighting anymore, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a cold shower. And it was cold. It was winter. It was July. It was horrible. 2017. Yeah. And my tattooist goes, oh yeah, you got to try and get in the shower for 3 minutes. So, and he said, just start, have a warm shower and finish on lukewarm. And then, anyway, 3 days I was doing a cold shower for 3 minutes. It took me 3 days. And then 2 weeks later, I thought, man, what's that guy's name? Wim Hof, yeah. And I Googled him, and I just thought, whoa. Showed some, showed podcasts, showed some documentaries where there was science testing him, and I was like, whoa. And then I went and, the app, you can buy the app free now. So this is if you want to start, get the free app. Yeah. Free app. And
it's called Wim Hof Method.
Yeah, Wim Hof Method. He'll take you through the breathing. He'll take you through how to get in the cold. He'll show you some exercises, some push-ups after the breathing that will just show you that this shit works.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I bought that. Yeah, started the breathing. There's a 10-week online course. I did 10-week online course. There was another 10-week online course. I did both 10-week online courses. So I got pretty heavy into it. That was 2017. And then in 2018, Wim Hof was coming to Sydney to do a 5-hour workshop. I was like, so now I did 2 10-week online courses. It was 2017. I've been accepted to go and do my advanced in Amsterdam. It was 2 days, but I was like €800. 2 days airfare away from my kids. I was like, man, no, I just held off. I couldn't do. I got accepted in, I don't know, October, November. I went to this workshop. Went with 4 guys from the gym. I got them into it. Got a few of my fighters into it. We went to this workshop of Wim Hof, and he takes you through the breathing, and he drives you, and you buzz when he does the breathing. You get the tingling. You wake up and you're amped. But they had the scientist there. There was a scientist, he was 30 years scientist, and he had all these letters. I don't know who he was, but I believe that he was some really smart guy. Yeah. He started telling me what's happening in your body. You know, your alkalinity changing, your pH changing, how you know, diseases, bacteria can't survive in an alkaline state. So you get really healthy. Showed me all the science, and I just thought, oh, and Wim Hof buzzed me out. So boom, I went home straight away, got on the phone, tried to book the advanced. They said, no, sorry, Jason, it's full. We got 50, 60 people. We told you last year, we gave you, so no, sorry. And I was like, so that was, I don't know, that was a Saturday. I went every day. I had about 3 different emails of the Wim Hof Academy. I emailed them every single day, please.
Every day?
Please, not one of them. I emailed every single email I had of them. Please let me join the advance.
Every day you said those same words.
Every day to 3 different emails that I had. I just emailed them all. Please let me join the advance. I'm the biggest follower in New Zealand. I got all my students into. All my students have got the app. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 week later, they said, "Okay, Jason, we've opened up another space for you. You can book here." Boom, I booked.
Perseverance, right there.
Yeah, man. Perseverance, man. And I booked. That's my biggest word in my success. Just perseverance. Anything you do, just persevere. Die fighting. Never give up in anything you do.
Definitely.
And you know, if you don't get to the top, you're gonna get close to the top, and you're gonna feel good about it because you had a goal forever. Anyway, so they accepted me in the advance. Man, you know, it was a 2-day course.
Yeah.
I was away for 6 days. I spent 3 nights in Amsterdam, and the other 3 nights traveling.
Yeah.
Like traveling, and it was immersion. I got to Hong Kong. My connecting flight had left 5 hours ago.
Oh.
So then I rang people trying to get on, and man, I just had a good travel agent. And I rang him, and I didn't have enough money in the bank, and he goes, "Oh, look," I said, "Look, I can pay you the money when I get back." And he just booked it on his credit card, and I got, and so I made it to the course. I was supposed to get there like early in the day and have a whole day. I got there in the night, and the course started at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Got there in the afternoon. Hired a bike, and I rode 7 kilometers to my course. 2 days, and that blew me away. Did the advance, and then you get all this homework, which really equips you for the masters. And when I got accepted to the masters and instructors course, I booked straight away. Yeah, I booked straight away because this movement is going to get huge. Yeah, you know, that day that I went to a workshop with Wim Hof, I just fought for my family, for my friends, for my gym. Yeah, I have to follow this all the way through so that I can teach it to them to be healthy by themselves just by breathing. Yeah, and a little bit of pain, a little bit of cold exposure. Yeah, it's not hard.
So you do ice baths every day, is that true?
I have been lately.
Yeah.
I have been for 3 weeks. I've been doing them. The most I did was 4 in one day, but it's really hot.
4 in one day.
Yeah. So I do between for a month. I've been doing them 2 to 4 times a day. Usually 2. I do 1 in the morning, and then I do 1 in the evening. Sometimes it's really hot in the daytime. I'll go do another one. Yeah. The other day it was so hot, and I did an ice bath here, but it wasn't as cold as my freezer, so I felt bad. So I went home and jumped in my freezer. You know, I like the mind part of it. I like the mental game of it. But I must say, you know, really you only got to do it once a week. Once a week, you get a boost to your immune system. You get a boost to your white blood cells because it doesn't know what infection is hidden it. It's not an infection; it's a cold, and it freaks out. So it sends out white blood cells to go and fight this cold, this disease, what's happening. But these white blood cells pump for 6 days after that 2-minute ice bath. So you only got to do it once a week. Yeah. I like the mental buzz of it. I like the feeling. I like getting cool. I like the mental. I like testing my brain, you know. So I get in there. So I'm going to try this 2-3 times a day for a month, and then I'm going to go back to once a day. But I've done once a day for a week before, and it was fine for me. You know, jumping in the ice bath more than once a week might not be good for some people because you get an adrenaline dump too. Because your white blood cells, your stress goes out.
Yeah.
Adrenaline goes out. Adrenaline goes out to pump the glucose through your blood to fix whatever's going on. So it might not be good having an adrenaline dump so many times for some people. For me, I can say it's been fine for me. I feel good.
Yeah.
I do Thai boxing, so I get an adrenaline dump when every time I spar with a little bit of adrenaline because one of my students trying to knock my head off. Nicely trying to knock my head off. You know?
I see, yeah.
So we deal with adrenaline a lot in this place. So I've dealt with it pretty good. I like the feeling, I like the buzz, but I wouldn't suggest it. I would say try it once a week, then try it, if you will like it, try it twice a week, see how you feel for a few weeks, then try it, like that. This is very, very extreme what I'm doing, but
so have you seen the health impacts it has had in your own?
Man, Taza,
Yeah.
since I started in 2017,
Okay.
2017, there's some wood over there.
Yeah.
Brother, it's the longest that I haven't been to the doctor.
The longest.
And I do cold all the way through summer and winter. When it's winter in the sea, I'm the only one swimming in the sea.
Yeah.
And when I swim in the sea, I swim a minimum of 15 minutes.
So you really believe this movement could help so many people's lives?
I'm living proof of it.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. And, there's science. When you're in a balance, so 80% of the world is acidic.
Yeah.
We eat bad food, we drink coffee. Man, I drink coffee twice a day. I drink coffee twice a day. I've tested myself on a pH strip, piss on the pH strip.
Yeah.
I'm about a 5. Every morning I'm about a 5. I never wake up and I'm balanced. I'm in a 7. I do my breathing, 15 minutes of breathing. I go piss again, I'm in the 7s. Your optimum is 7.35.
So you want to be 7, around 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I reckon between 6 to 7.7 is good.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in the greens.
Yeah.
When you're in the green, bacteria doesn't survive, cancer doesn't survive. So when people got cancer, you always see them. They go and buy alkaline water.
Yeah.
Just to help, because cancer don't survive, and cancer is attracted to acidic state.
Yeah. So you're changing your body chemistry.
Yeah, man. 15 minutes
of breathing.
Of breathing.
Because I came to the sort of course last year and I was mind blown how it felt good.
It felt
good. It's like
you didn't continue to do it, did you?
I didn't. But the reason
why, come on.
It's just it was that habit thing.
Yeah.
I didn't have the habits in there. And now I always do the cold showers.
Yeah.
The cold showers, I see a massive improvement.
Yeah.
It just gets you fresh. You just feel more alert.
Better than a coffee.
Better than a coffee, yeah. Alert and sort of sharper.
You're sharper.
But the reason why the ice bath's a challenge is that the sort of, where do you get the sort of bath?
Yeah.
And how mobile is it? And where do you get the ice from? These sort of technical
so you can just
things.
use your bathtub.
Yeah.
It's easy. You can buy tubs online. I mean, I bought one, I think it was $200 or something.
Yeah.
It fits two. It would fit two. It would fit me and you in it without overflowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fit two of me in it. And you can buy smaller ones and cheaper ones.
Yeah.
But you can just use your bathtub. Yeah.
So you recommend once a week for people that are just trying this?
Minimum once a week.
So what about the breathing? How often do you do the breathing?
I do the breathing every day.
Yeah.
Every day. As soon as I wake up in the morning, and I don't. It's they say 30 to 40 breaths.
Okay.
I don't count my breaths. I meditate. Meditation is concentrating on breathing in and breathing out.
So is meditating in your thoughts as well, or just breathing?
So meditation is just clearing your mind. How do you clear your mind? You can't clear your mind.
It's always gonna.
So a good way to clear your mind is just breathe in, concentrate on your breathe in, and breathing out. And this is from a famous monk in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
He says, so if you concentrate on nothing else but breathing in, breathing out for 10 breaths, you've meditated for 10 seconds because you've cleared your mind.
Yeah.
So I just set my timer. If I'm in a rush, I'd set my timer to 1 minute 30.
Yeah.
Breathe in, let it go. Breathe in, let it go.
And how heavy are you breathing?
All the way in.
All the way in. So it's not like
all the way in.
It's like
all the way in.
Yeah.
Let it go. Not.
Okay.
I don't force air in. I force air in. Let go.
So you want to do that for 1 minute?
1 minute 30.
Yeah.
When I got time, I do it 1 minute 45.
Okay.
1 minute 45. Breathe in. When the buzzer goes, you breathe in, breathe out, out, hold. You know, so there's still a little bit of air left in your stomach. When you need to breathe, you breathe in, hold for 10, and then start again. You must do 3 cycles. You must do 3 cycles. For me, I don't know. I've had some people that do 2 cycles, but when I post on the pH strips, what changes my pH is 3 cycles.
Okay.
A minimum of 3 cycles to change your pH, to get in an alkaline state, balanced pH in the 7s, where your brain and your body function at its best, where your pain receptors don't work that well, so you can jump in the ice. It'll last for about 5 hours. 3 cycles, minimum of 3 cycles. I do between an average of 3 to 6 cycles every day.
Yeah. So what do you say to those people that say bullshit, like this is not going to work? Like, how do you convince those people or persuade them to give it a go?
Okay, so for them, I just tell them about my history since I started, not going to the doctor. It's the longest time that I can remember that I haven't been to the doctor. You know, when you know, oh yeah, I went to the doctor last year for this or that. Man, I can't even remember now, because it's before 2017 when I went to the doctor, so I don't know. Can't remember that time. It's too long ago now. What do I do? So I just tell them about me, and I make them do a cycle. And do push-ups with no air in their lungs. You remember doing that?
I remember that.
Isn't that a buzz?
Increased about 20.
Isn't that a
20
buzz?
or 30,
So that's how I prove it to them.
Yeah. Now this, honestly, it's incredible.
So you know, just from that little bit of breathing there, I got a little bit of lightheaded.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure, you always got to make sure you're sitting down or you're lying down. I like lying down. I like lying down because I just feel more relaxed and I can just get into it a lot deeper. When I breathe out, I can hold my breath a lot longer. But yeah, for the non-believers, I can just take them through 1 cycle. I'll just do the 2 minutes, breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. Get them on their hands and knees. I go, breathe out, hold your breath, see how many push-ups you can do. They're like, holy shit, I've never done that many push-ups before. That's how I prove to them.
So you tell your fighters to do it as well because of the recovery benefits, or what is it?
Because of the recovery?
Yeah.
Because of the recovery, because you're now using, your oxygen has gone high. But what people don't know about the Wim Hof Method is, on the breath retention, your oxygen goes really, really low. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's when you acidic. Okay, at the end you come in, because you're breathing, your oxygen comes high. But what happens when your oxygen goes really low and we're doing push-ups, your body learns to work with oxygen better throughout the day. So because you do it in the morning, you learn how to breathe better, breathe deeper, breathe more efficiently. You learn how to use oxygen more efficiently. You become oxygen efficient, energy efficient. So it's like a training stimulus to your body to catch oxygen properly because it's gone so low, and work with it. So you just become more efficient.
Yeah. And so have you seen the changes in your fighters that have been using this? Have you seen the improvement?
I've seen changes in their health. Okay, so you know, when we don't do, because it's still a mental game in the ring. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you sorry man, I love talking about that. I love talking about fighting and Wim Hof. Okay?
I love this. This is great.
They can, so usually when you've trained like hard for 6 weeks, my fighter will go, oh, I'm sick, and I say, don't worry, you're 90%, your opponent is sick too. But when you smash your body twice a day for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, you get run down, you get sick. My fighters aren't getting sick in the last week, in the 4th, 5th week, because we're jumping in the ice once a week. So they're boosting their immune system once a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
what about
I've
for
seen
other
that.
sports? Not just fighting. Do you think it's beneficial for other sports? Let's say hockey, football,
Absolutely,
rugby?
because, like I said, you learn your oxygen goes high to 100%, then it goes low to 60, 70%, and you're still pumping out push-ups. So yeah, of course, because you're teaching your body to work with oxygen. We need oxygen to work, right? We need oxygen to pump weights.
Yeah.
We need oxygen to run, to punch, to swim.
Yeah.
It enhances anyone's physical performance.
So there's no equipment required. There's nothing. It's just you
breathing, man. That's why it's so simple, and that's why I really want to help share this method because like I'm doing a workshop.
Okay, when is that workshop? So
I'm doing a workshop on the 10th of March.
10th of May, and this is at the gym.
It's at the gym, and I'm only taking 15 people.
15 people.
Yeah, 15 people. Man. So it's gonna sell out.
Yeah.
But why I want to do it, I mean, what would he say?
When is your
event? 15, on the 10th of March.
Yeah.
10th of March, here at the gym, 8:30, and we'll go for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. And that's where you learn how to do it.
What I teach you, like when you came out, what I teach you, you pay, it's 89 euros.
Yeah.
You pay a one-off fee because if you're smart, you never have to come to me again.
Exactly.
I'll give you the tools to do it for the rest of your life, just like I did. I got the app. I went to a workshop. I went to 3 workshops actually. I went to the Kiwi guy here, Nigel Beach. He lives in Taronga. He's a very good. He was like my mentor through the Wim Hof as I was becoming an instructor. He's really good, man. I went. But you can go to 1 workshop a year and you got the tools to do it at home.
No, definitely. I learned so much in that.
Yeah.
That, even though when I can, I'll do those breathing and I'll get that high.
Yeah.
And you're just there. It's
high on your own supply. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was Wim Hof who said, like, it was on the Tim Ferriss show. It's like, what's one phrase you would say is like, breathe, motherfucker.
Yeah. Breathe.
Which is definitely true. Like, I think a lot of the illnesses, a lot of the, sicknesses can be prevented. And that's definitely a way.
Yeah.
So we'll go into like the quick fire questions.
Yeah.
So what failures have you been through that have set you up for later success? Besides the one that we talked about, the knockout one. What was a major failure that you learned from about yourself, about your opponent?
Yeah, losing and coming back like that one. I fought in the first K1, got knocked out in the first round. Yeah. And I came back a year later and I ended up winning the K1.
But how does someone deal with that embarrassment? That it's a very get help. Get help. So don't do it yourself.
I went to a psychiatrist. I read books. I rang fighters that were senior to me, and I asked them what they did. Yeah.
No, definitely.
It's just like they say in business, find someone who's really good in business and follow them. I mean,
mentors.
I thought I was the best at fighting,
but
I got knocked out. So I asked someone who I didn't think was better than me, but he was a senior to me.
Yeah.
He was a fighter that I respected, so I asked him.
And you think that was very, very helpful?
Absolutely, 100%.
What advice would you give your 16-year-old self? Thinking back now.
Man, my 16-year-old self, what advice would I give? Every time you get paid for a fight, put 50% away.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
All right. When you think of the word successful, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Ooh.
Could be a couple people.
Mike Tyson.
Why?
Because he was the greatest world champion in history. In my history. Yeah.
Better than Muhammad Ali?
Yeah.
Better?
For me, yeah.
For you,
yeah. Would he have beaten Muhammad Ali in that era? I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was my style of a champion.
Yeah.
He didn't talk a lot. He was short. He was.
How tall was he, Mike Tyson?
He's half an inch short. He's about my height.
Yeah, about your height, eh?
And man, he fought super heavyweights. I fought super heavyweights. So he's the first person that comes to my mind.
Yeah, that's. What's your favorite book or books and why?
I think my favorite book of books is I used to like The Outsiders, S.E. Hinton.
Okay, Outsiders.
I read a few of S.E. Hinton's books, but my one was who was it? Musashi Maru. I don't know who it's by. Musashi Maru. It's about this samurai.
Yeah.
this samurai called Musashi Maru, and he went around the country, and he'd just go into a samurai school and he'd say, "I'd like a lesson from your best student, please." And they'd say, "Wooden sword or steel sword?" And they'd say, "Steel sword." Then they'd put a sign up saying, "On Sunday, 6 p.m, it's going to be a duel between me, Jason, Musashi, and Taza."
Yeah.
6 o'clock they come, doesn't matter who's there. If I kill you, I kill you, and I get away with it because it was a fair battle. There was a notice. This guy Musashi, he was walking past his mountain once, and he looked up at the mountain, and he said, "The mountain's laughing at me." So he climbed up the mountain really hard, climbed the mountain, jumped on the mountain, and stomped on his head and said, "Now I've conquered you." I like that book.
Yeah. I see why. Yeah. What's the impact you want to leave behind with your gym, with everything you're doing now?
The power of the mind, the power of your own mind.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. That's what I want to leave behind. Not the power of my mind, the power of your mind. I want to grow people to the strongest that they can ever be mentally in themselves.
Yeah. And do you think that's ever more valuable right now in this sort of environment we're in?
I think it's going to go a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are the one step or one thing people can do to strengthen their mind?
Get in the cold shower.
Cold shower.
That's one thing. Real simple thing. Like, how many people do you know get in the ice bath twice a day? How many people got the strength to do that?
It takes a lot of discipline.
So it's a real simple thing. I'm not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not hurting myself. I'm actually improving myself.
Yeah.
But I'm strengthening my brain as well.
Yeah.
Real simple.
Yeah. Where can people find you on social and everything?
Facebook, Jason Suttie, Jason Psycho Suttie.
Yeah.
Instagram, Jason Psycho Suttie.
Yeah. And you have a website for...
And the website for the gym is www.etk.co.nz. ETK.
Sweet. Any parting thoughts you want to share with the audience?
No, that's all.
Sweet. Thanks for coming on the show.
Taza, thank you, man.
Really appreciate it.
That was awesome.
Cheers.
Cool, bro.